For me personally, in my experience, it was more of a very kind of gradual thing. Really for almost as long as I can remember, the priesthood has been a way of life that's sort of been on my mind, a way of life that I've been attracted to. So growing up, in my parish at St. Vincent de Paul and just seeing the priests that were there and the life that they lived, it's always been, like I said, it's been a way of life that I thought was very beautiful, of the life of service and the prayer and the Mass and the sacraments. It was just always something I was attracted to. And so as I got a little bit older and, especially once I kind of entered high school was when I started to take discernment a little more seriously and try to actually take active steps to discern what God was really calling me to. So I began by attending some kind of like vocation days that they did here in the diocese. This was before the Quo Vadis program actually started. And then once the Quo Vadis Days program started up, I began attending that as well regularly. After these programs, I tried to, kind of seek out the advice of priests that were present at the programs and just, ask them, what are just some kind of, practical ways to try to discern what do I need to do to find out what God is calling me to for my life. The main kind of consistent, advice that I got from them was to spend time in front of the Blessed Sacrament, to pray a lot, and to, just kind of listen for that little voice that keeps calling you to it. That voice has always been, very persistent. And so when I was actually 18, I actually began, I spoke to the vocation director for the diocese right after I graduated from high school to ask about applying, and I got the green light to begin the application process. Pretty early on in the process as it began, I just for whatever reason began to kind of lose peace about it and wasn't really sure. Just kind of got very nervous about the whole thing, and so I decided not to apply at the time. So I walked away from it for the time and sort of put it on the back burner. And I think I went through a little bit of a period of time where I kind of ran from it a little bit just because, at that point I was taking college, I was dating, I didn't really want to think about the priesthood anymore. I felt like I had already answered the question, even during those times, even when I didn't really want to admit it to myself all that much. The call was still there and it was still very persistent. And so I went to school for a couple years, was working, dating, just kind of doing my thing. But as time went on, I just realized that I wasn't really at peace with what I was doing. There was a particular point at Mass when, the parochial vicar at my parish at the time, Father Coleman, was preaching at the Mass, and I had a little bit of an experience where I just kind of realized that I just felt a really strong desire for the priesthood, a really strong attraction to it, which I had been kind of trying to silence for some time. And, I just kind of realized in that moment that, if I didn't pursue this, I don't think I was going to be happy in life. So after that, I went home that day and I talked to my family about it and told them, I wanted to try to begin the application process again. And so I contacted the vocations director, and he allowed me to begin the application process again. And so I completed the application and joined St. Joseph College Seminary in the fall. So I just completed my first year here, and it's been really the best year of my life. It's truly been a blessed year.